Hi, I'm Devin. I'm one of the producers on the Mormon Bachelor, helping Aaron out with season 4 here. And we're in the third round of dates now. And we have one that's a little unconventional, a little different from some of the other dates. And we're going to go in and find out who it is right now and talk to her for a little bit. Hi, Sharla.
Hi, Devin.
How are you?
So good. How are you?
Good.
Here we are.
So this is the third round.
Third round. Yes.
All right, we're here at Thanksgiving Point. Let's go we'll get something to drink and then talk a little bit in the garden.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. That's good stuff, or that's good?
That was just good.
Okay. You have to go pull one of those levers. No, you gotta pull one more. One more.
Oh my gosh!
Since we last left, you guys had the date in LA.
Right.
And you watched a movie, Chris made dinner for you. And I know beforehand we talked a little bit about, you weren't sure where his mind was and weren't sure about the amount of effort that he was showing. What did you think, like, right after the date and then, after that for a little while?
Our second date was amazing. It was really good. Chemistry's still there, connection's still there. It was a lot of fun. And it was really sweet. He was really romantic, and it was really good. We had a good time together. Since the third date,
The second date?
yeah, that's what I meant. Since the second date, there was hardly any effort, and I feel on both parts, not just on my part, on his part as well. I was really, went in kind of torn after the second date. I was just gung-ho, super excited, ready for a third, ready to move forward. And then just as, time passed and things like that, it just went away. There was no effort, and our relationship really digressed. And so when it came to the third date, I just felt like it just felt better to just not go.
So I know, like, beforehand you were saying, you weren't sure, like, before the date, we talked a little bit, you were just like, I feel like at times he's, may not communicate as much and whatever. And you weren't sure. I remember you were saying kind of like, it was like a make it or break it date. But after the date, everything went well, so it was kind of cemented and established, yeah, afterwards?
Yeah, it was kind of a make it or break it date, and I felt like it did make it. Like, it was a great date, and I left that date, pretty confident, but still also confused. I did leave that date still a little bit confused, I guess. And this is something we talked about on a second date. I had started dating people, like I had started dating someone else, and so, but him and I weren't exclusive, and Chris and I weren't exclusive, and I basically came to a point of who was I going to pursue, and I left the second date really confused, and I thought I had made a decision. I decided to come back for a third date, but as Chris and my relationship digressed and there was no effort on each part, things just naturally kind of ended, as things had kind of progressed with this other person. So in a way, it just was kind of like, yeah, I shouldn't go on this third date because my heart was going in another direction. Chris and I don't think it's a compatibility issue. I don't think it's a chemistry issue. I don't think it's any of that, honestly. I think it's timing in the situation. And I told Chris that when we talked. I just said, I know if it were any other situation in a different time, we would date. I think there were just too many people involved. There were too many options, and it wasn't a good situation. Like, we both didn't put in the effort of just focusing just on us. And I feel like he just didn't try. I'm telling you, we had chemistry. Like, we totally did. Kissing was great. It was so much fun. And I'm super attracted to him, and he's so fun. He's a good guy.
All right.
Like, I feel like we just are on different levels. Like, I'm ready. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just ready. I'm a little bit older than him, and like, yeah, we graduated the same year and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like as a girl you're a little bit more mature and you just kind of get there a little bit faster, and that's where I'm at. I'm at a place where I'm just ready. Like, I'm ready to find the one. I'm ready to move forward into that stage, and I just didn't feel like he was, I guess. I mean, as time has gone by, and as, you know, maybe I still haven't spent a lot of time with him. I mean, we've been on, what, 2 dates? So I think maybe that would have also been a little superficial, and, you know.
Right.
So I mean, who's to say? All I know is like the initial chemistry, the initial attraction is there. Whether or not him and I could carry on like a good long-term relationship in a sense where we were both really, really compatible and like made for each other in a sense, I still don't know. Like, I still don't know him that well.
So if you don't know him that well and you still think things could be up in the air, what's stopped you from doing a third date and just, you know, saying, well, it doesn't work out from there? Like, what would you say is your obstacle? Like, why isn't Chris here on the third date?
The one thing that stopped me was probably the other person I was dating. I felt like as things digressed with Chris, they progressed with this other person. So having to go back on a third date would have just been very hurtful to him. And even though we're not in an exclusive relationship, and who knows where that's going to go or if that's going to work out, it just would have been very hurtful. Also, I didn't feel right, you know, hurting someone else and hurting another opportunity, especially when I was so unsure about my feelings, especially when someone didn't really make an effort to try to pursue a relationship with me. Yeah, you're the Mormon Bachelor. Yeah, you're dating 3 girls, but you can't just not talk to someone for 2 weeks and expect the relationship to be at the level that it was. That's not how relationships work. That's not how getting to know someone works. So, you know, when no effort is there, and you know, it's just kind of like, well, why would I? Why would I sacrifice another opportunity for this when I already feel like it's, you know, it's maybe run its course some way? It wasn't a hurtful thing because I am very understanding in the position that he's in. He's in a really difficult position, and I could see that he doesn't know how to really pursue something with one person or 3 people at the same time or 2 people at the same time. So I'm very understanding. So I'm not taking it personal by any means. So I'm not hurt. I would say I'm more just kind of bummed out, you know, just because I think if it hadn't been a different situation, it could have been really great. So I think we're just kind of disappointed.
Do you think, like, and we don't know, like, what happens, but like, do you see Chris ending up with anybody out of this? And if he doesn't, do you think that he may learn something from it?
I honestly have no idea if Chris will end up with someone. I don't know who the other girls are. I don't know his relationships with the other girls. I have no idea. Like, even, you know, maybe a big part of me thinks the reason he wasn't pursuing anything with me or contacting me or talking to me was because he was more involved with someone else. You know, so I don't know. I have no idea to say whether or not he'll end up with someone, but I think obviously of course he's going to learn through this process and through this opportunity. You know, if you don't, then like, what were you doing? Like, of course, I definitely think he'll learn. I know I did. I definitely learned a lot about myself and what I want in a relationship and how I want to be treated and how I want to treat someone, and, you know, hopefully he did as well.